What's good, everybody? It's the Clown with Cam show. We got college football week 12. Really some big games, and obviously I think the biggest game of them all is IU at Ohio State. And this is huge for IU. I mean, if IU can beat Ohio State this weekend, honestly, IU's in the top four teams in the country. No doubt about it. I mean, who would have thought at the beginning of the year that we would be saying Indiana football, even in the top 10? To me, this is crazy. I never would have thought in a million years that IU would even be in the top 10 right now. Right now, they're number 9 in the AP, which is crazy to me. But it's led by Michael Penix Jr., their quarterback. He's the difference maker. Over 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns, and only 3 interceptions. Now, their running back, he's nice. Stevie Scott III, he has 88 carries on 319 yards and 5 touchdowns. I'm telling you what, IU is no joke. And going into Ohio State, this is the biggest game of the year for IU, no doubt about it. Now, for Ohio State, it's really not that big of a game, right? But both undefeated teams right here, both in the top 10. I mean, whoever arguably wins this game is definitely going to get in the playoffs at the end of the year. And we're already kind of towards getting the end of the year, which is crazy. But what's more crazy is Ohio State is 20.5-point favorites in this game. Obviously, if I'm going with Ohio State, I'm not doing that. I'm not taking the spread. I'm going money line. Go money line on this pick. Do not do the spread. 20.5 is a lot of points, dude. I'm telling you what, for IU, to me, this is crazy. But obviously, Ohio State, they deserve it. Justin Fields, arguably the best quarterback in the country. I would say Trevor Lawrence, but this Justin Field kid, man, I'm telling you what, he's something special. He has 908 yards passing with 11 touchdowns, dude. I'm telling you, he's the difference maker. I feel like if he plays great, Ohio State, it's really, no matter wherever he goes, the sky's the limit for Ohio State. You understand? So, to me, and then Garrett Wilson, their star receiver, he has 24 receptions on 344 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, this is a huge game for both of these teams. Obviously, for Indiana football, this is the biggest game of the year for them. I mean, they're circling the game right here, and they're saying, look, this is a must-win game for them. They're going into Ohio State, and if IU really pulls up the upset here, this would be crazy. This would, IU, no, 100%, they should be in the top 4 in the country. No doubt about it. If they beat Ohio State tomorrow, they're in. They are in. You guys are in the playoffs. Well-deserved, Indiana. But, I don't want to bet with my heart, okay, and say, I love Indiana. I'm from Indiana. I'm an Indiana kid, so it wouldn't make sense to me to go to Indiana. But, look, I'm going to play it smart, and I'm going to go money line Ohio State here. Money line, I would not go 20.5 as a spread because you have to understand, Michael Penix, dude, he can put up crazy numbers. IU can put up crazy numbers here. So to me, this is great. I cannot wait for this game. Like I said, if we saw the upset, I really wouldn't be as surprised. I'm telling you right now, but I'm going to go Ohio State 66.5 is the over-under. What they're telling us, they're saying, look, dude, this is going to be a high-scoring game. Really, though. I mean, I feel like both of these quarterbacks, Justin and Michael, they're going to throw the ball. They are, and I expect it. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes with the over-under. Like I said, I don't like to go with the over-unders, but I wouldn't be surprised if it goes with the over. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 66.5. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a high-scoring game here. I would like to think that both these teams will put up in the 40 points range. I really do. I don't think it's going to be a defensive battle. It's a afternoon game, so I really expect them to throw the ball down the field. But like I said, I'm going to Ohio State money line. Then we got Clemson versus Florida State. We're hearing sources that Trevor Lawrence is coming back, which is great, right, for Clemson. I mean, you have to understand, Clemson cannot lose a game this year. Moving forward, if they do, they're out of the playoffs. So to me, I'm not worried about Clemson. I do think they'll run the table. They will 100% make the ACC championship game against Notre Dame, my team. So that's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen there. But Florida State, they're not the Florida State that we're used to seeing. They're way under 500, led by Jordan Travis, their quarterback. He has 4 touchdowns and 5 picks. It makes sense, dude. You're throwing more interceptions than touchdowns. It makes sense where Florida State's at. I don't want to blame the coaching. It really boils down to the players and their playmakers. Seriously. He also has 80 25 carries on 469 yards and 6 touchdowns. He likes to run a lot, but look, dude, I think Clemson has this in the bag. Clemson is 35.5-point favorites here, which is crazy to me, right? I mean, we see these big spreads. I wouldn't be surprised if Clemson does win by that, but I'm going to go Clemson money line. I mean, 35.5 is a lot, especially for the away team. They're going into Florida State. I don't think this is a pushover game. I do think this is a must-win game, no doubt about it, for Clemson Tigers, which they will win. And like I said, Trevor's coming back. He's got 17 touchdowns and only 2 picks. Their star running back, Travis, he has 121 carries on 634 yards and 10 touchdowns. So I expect them two to get in the groove and really see the Clemson that we're used to seeing. And Clemson will be on a roll. I'm telling you right now. 63 is the over-under. I'll go with the over on this game. I will. I think this is going to be high scoring. I think Trevor Lawrence throws the ball for at least 4 touchdowns, and I expect Travis to rush for 1 or 2 touchdowns as well. I like Clemson over Florida State. Then we got Florida versus Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's winless. I think Florida destroys them, no doubt about it. They're 31.5-point favorites. Like I said, I'll go, the first 3 games, I'll go money lines here. Just the simple fact that, dude, look, the spreads are crazy to me, and you just never know. And 68 is the over-under. They're telling us it's going to be a high-scoring game, and it really boils down to Kyle Trask, their quarterback, their star quarterback, Florida. I'm telling you what, this kid is nice, dude. He's got 2,171 yards passing with 28 touchdowns and only 3 picks, dude. 28 touchdowns and 3 picks. That's a difference maker. And really, if Florida wins out their conference and goes to their championship game, I really think Florida can get in there, get in the playoffs. I really do. We will see a 1-loss team in the playoffs, no doubt about it. It's a simple fact that will we see 2-loss team going in there? Absolutely not. I believe we might see 2 teams with 1 losses in the playoffs, but with 2 losses, no. I feel like, if we see a team, for instance, like BYU or Cincinnati end up winning out, and we see an SEC team with 2 losses, get the undefeated in there. 2 losses, there's no excuses. No 2-loss team should go in the playoffs this year. No doubt about it, but to me, it really starts with Kyle, their quarterback, and then there's their receiver, Kyle Pitts. He's got 24 receptions on 414 yards and 8 touchdowns. I think Florida airs the ball out and really destroys Vanderbilt. Like I said, winless, so I'm going Florida money line all day, every day. Then we got North Alabama. They're winless versus BYU. Like I said, BYU, if they run the table, but look, we have to understand, BYU, they don't really play anybody, right? I mean, their competition's really weak, let's be honest here. But really, BYU's quarterback, Zach Wilson, he is legit, dude. He's got 2,512 yards passing with 22 touchdowns and only 2 picks. I'm telling you what, this guy is a playmaker. Then their star running back, Tyler Allinger, he's got 105 carries on 710 yards and 9 touchdowns. I'm telling you what, dude, BYU, they have an explosive offense. They have the top 5 offense in the country right now. No, I don't care if their competition's weak or not. They have a top 5 offense. They can really score on anybody in the country. Dax, their star receiver, has got 45 receptions on 805 yards and 6 touchdowns. Like I said, they have so many different playmakers on BYU, which really is the difference maker. Now Blake Deaver, the Northern Alabama quarterback, he's got 383 yards with 1 touchdown and only 2 picks. It makes sense why they're winless. They are trash. I expect BYU to really run the table. BYU is 48-point favorites. I'm not going to go that spread. I'm going to go, again, the money line. So my first 4 teams are definitely the money line on this pick. No doubt about it. Money line back to back to back to back. So to me, I love BYU in this matchup. No doubt about it. Then we got Cincinnati versus UCF. Arguably Cincinnati's biggest game right now. UCF is no pushover. UCF is 5-2. The past decade, UCF has been nice. They really have. And Cincinnati, dude, they're ranked 7th in the country. Who would have thought that? They are 6-point favorites going in. Look, I like Cincinnati. I'll take Cincinnati. Look, Cincinnati, this is a must-win game, and it really starts with Desmond Ridder, their quarterback. He's got 1,483 yards passing with 14 touchdowns and only 6 picks. I'm telling you what, Cincy's nice, dude. They are nice, and obviously their running back, Dokes, he's from Knapp. Shout out to, he's an Indiana boy. He's got 109 carries on 563 yards and 7 touchdowns. I'm telling you what, dude, I love Cincinnati in this matchup, but we cannot forget UCF's quarterback, quarterback. Dylan, dude, he is nice. He's got 2,774 yards passing with 23 touchdowns and only 2 picks. UCF, they like to throw the ball. They like to utilize that play action. Use it, and they can trick you out, trick the linebackers and the safeties of Cincinnati. That could be the difference maker. Now, Williams, their star receiver, he's got 63 receptions on 942 yards and 8 touchdowns. These two, Dylan and Williams, man, if they get in a groove, UCF can really upset Cincinnati here. This isn't an easy game. 63 is the over-under. I expect them to go with the over. I expect this to be a high-scoring game, but ultimately I'm taking Cincinnati because I've seen Cincinnati battle through adversity throughout the year. Obviously, they don't have the strength of schedule like the SEC or the ACC, but why is that Cincinnati or BYU's fault? So give the little man a shot if they end up running the table, like I said, but I like Cincinnati. I wouldn't be surprised if UCF gets the upset here, but I love Cincinnati, the away team. I'll take the 6 points, no doubt about it. Now we got Wisconsin versus Northwestern, both undefeateds coming in. Look, Graham Mertz, Wisconsin's quarterback, 375 yards and 7 touchdowns, and they haven't really played many games yet this year. You have to understand, and then Peyton Ramsey, the quarterback for Northwestern, he's got 723 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 4 picks. Look, dude, I really expect Wisconsin to win this game. I think Wisconsin has a better offensive line and defensive line and better athletes all around the table, so I'm going to go Wisconsin. Like I said, 7.5-point favorites. I'll take that all day, every day. I'll take Wisconsin. 44 is the over-under. They're really telling us it's the under, but I'm going to go with the over. Like I said, most of the time, I love the spreads. That's the bread and butter. Okay, so I'm going to go Wisconsin 7.5, no doubt about it. Then we got UCLA versus Oregon. Oregon is 17-point favorites, which is crazy, right? I mean, dude, this is a star-studded matchup as well. A classic rivalry, no doubt about it. UCLA, Thompson Robinson, their quarterback. He's got 499 yards passing with 7 touchdowns and only 2 picks. I feel like if he plays great, he plays the game of his life, they could definitely beat Oregon, no doubt about it. They have to just stay mistake-free, and I feel like, Thompson, he cannot throw into bad coverage, and I think that's kind of his weakness, but Oregon's quarterback, Tyler, 539 yards with 5 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Look, dude, 17 is a lot for Oregon, but, I'm going to go with the upset pick. And this might be dumb, but I'm going to go UCLA with the upset over Oregon. 64 is the over-under. You guys can decide that, but I'm going to go with the upset UCLA. I think really Robinson, he has the game of his life, and I really think they went by a field goal at Oregon. I understand they're dogs, huge dogs, but I'm going to go with the underdog here. Then we got Kentucky versus Bama. Bama's 30-point favorites. Look, dude, Mac Jones, he's legit. We always say, they're quarterbacks and running backs, but really they do. Alabama produces great quarterbacks and great running backs year after year. You understand? Like, it's crazy to me, right? And shout out to Nick Saban. You love him or hate him, he's one of the greatest college football coaches we have ever seen in the NCAA football history. For real, dude. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Bama really wins this year. Yeah, they're on the peak. They're on the verge. So to me, I cannot wait. Like I said, Mac Jones, 2,196 yards passing with 16 touchdowns and only 2 picks. Najee Harris, their running back, he's got 124 carries on 714 yards and 14 touchdowns. Harris, man, 14 touchdowns. He's a beast. Like I said, Bama has great quarterbacks and running backs, and really that's the difference maker of this game. I think Bama really controls the front seven and really controls their on the other side as well on defense. So I like Bama. I'll take Bama 30. If you don't like the 30, go money line, but I'm going to go Bama with 30. I think Bama really destroys them. 58 is the over-under. I'll go with the over. But look, I like Bama at home. I'm telling you, when Bama plays at home, they play great. I'll go 30. I understand it's a big spread. And like I said, if you guys don't like that spread, go money line on Bama. But 100% go Bama in this pick. No doubt about it. Then we got Kansas State versus Iowa State. Iowa State 11-point favorites at home. Brock Purdy, he's a good quarterback. He's got 1,477 yards passing with 10 touchdowns and only 6 picks. Breece Hall, their star. He's their star. He's their playmaker on Iowa State. Excuse me, not Ohio State. Iowa State. Look, he's their difference maker. Over 1,000 yards rushing and 13 touchdowns. Look, they're going to give him the ball, and it really boils down to can Kansas State's defense stop him? Can they stop Hall? And I don't think so. So I'm going to go Ohio State. Iowa State, with 11. I get it. Kansas State's quarterback, Will Howard, he's pretty good. 5 touchdowns, 5 picks throughout the year. Less than 1,000 yards passing. Deuce, Kansas State's star, he's got 87 carries on 371 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns. He also has 16 receptions on 306 yards and 1 touchdown. Look, they're going to have to give it to Deuce every time for them to even have a chance in this game, but I think ultimately Iowa State wins this game. No doubt about it. 46 is the over-under. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the under, but I like to tend to go with the overs in college football, but I love Iowa State in this matchup. Then we got Tennessee versus Auburn. Auburn is 10.5-point favorites. Look, this is a classic matchup. Auburn's quarterback, he's nice. Bo Nix, he's got 1,470 yards passing with 9 touchdowns and only 4 picks. Seth Williams, he's got 28 receptions on 511 yards and 3 touchdowns. Look, Auburn, dude, at home, I feel like they cannot lose this game, right? But this could be an upset pick here. Garrett, Tennessee's quarterback, he's got 556 yards passing with 6 touchdowns and only 3 picks. Look, they're nice. And then Eric Gray, he's got 110 carries on 478 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. Look, it really boils down to Tennessee. Can they stop Bo Nix? That's really what it boils down to. Can Tennessee's defense come up big in this game? We understand Tennessee has a good offense. They can put up numbers. But look, I feel like I would love to go with the upset pick at Tennessee, but I'm going to go Auburn at 10.5. I think Auburn at home, they control the clock, they control the game, control the momentum, and I like Auburn at home. No, 50.5 is the over-under. I would go with the under in this pick. I think it's going to be a little low-scoring game. I say that because I think the defense of Auburn's really gonna struggle with Garrett and Tennessee and company. But like I said, I don't do the over-unders, but the bread and butter is my spread, so I'm going to go Auburn 10.5. I got that all day, every day. Then we got Mississippi State versus Georgia. Georgia's 25-point favorites. To me, I feel like if you guys went 25, this would be insane. If you're going to go Georgia, go money line on this pick, because I really do think Mississippi State's on the verge of dude, we understand that our season's probably over. They have nothing to lose. They have literally nothing to lose. KJ Castillo, their Mississippi State's quarterback, he's got 1,283 yards passing with 6 touchdowns and 10 picks. 6 touchdowns and 10 picks. Right there, that's kind of who we know, who they are. Mitchell, their star receiver, he's got 26 receptions, on 336 yards and 3 touchdowns. But look, I just think Georgia's too much. And it really starts with Bennett, their quarterback. He's got 8 touchdowns and 6 picks, over 1,000 yards passing. Then Z White, their star running back, he's got 97 carries on over 500 yards and 7 touchdowns. Look, I think Georgia's too much for Mississippi State, but like I said, this could be an upset game right here because Mississippi State literally has nothing to lose, bro. They have nothing to lose. So to me, it's dangerous when a man has nothing to lose, but I'm going to go Georgia. I'm going to go Georgia money line on this pick, though. 25 is a lot. To me, that would be a suck bet if you guys took that spread. So I'm going to go money line Georgia all day, every day. Then we got Oklahoma State versus Oklahoma. Oklahoma 7-point favorites. Really, this is kind of a coin flip game. Oklahoma, we understood what they were at the beginning of the year. There are a lot of hype. I feel like Oklahoma's been hyped for so long. They haven't won in a while. They have a great program, don't get me wrong, for college football, but it's just like they year in and year out recently they've been coming up short. But look, Spencer Rattler, over 2,000 yards passing for Oklahoma, 18 touchdowns and 6 picks. That right there. And then Spencer Sanders, Oklahoma State's quarterback, he's going to have the game of his life. He's got 5 touchdowns and 3 picks on 766 yards passing. Wallace, their running back, he's got 35 carries on 588 yards and 4 touchdowns. I think Oklahoma State wins this game if they can really utilize Wallace and if Spencer Sanders does not throw interceptions. But I know it sounds stupid, but I'm going to go with the upset here. I'm going to go Oklahoma State at Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma comes up short. I think Oklahoma State wins by a field goal, maybe a touchdown, because of Spencer Sanders. I think he has a game of his life in this game, and I think Oklahoma State's defense is really underrated, so I think they come out and really cause some problems. But I expect Spencer Rattler to have a big game. But look, dude, this is a coin flip game. But I'm gonna go with the underdogs, Oklahoma State. And then we had Georgia Tech versus the U, Texas versus Kansas, and Ole Miss versus Texas A&M. All those games are postponed. Really sad. We have to understand, dealing with COVID, dealing with all this shit that's going on in our society today is driving people crazy, right? I just pray it ends soon, and I pray we get back back to normal by next year of 2021 in the summer. Hopefully COVID's gone. Hopefully they have a vaccine. It's really sad that these programs had to postpone these games. Shout out to my hometown, Chirp Chirp, Ball State beating Northern Illinois this past week. Really a big win. I hope Ball State ends up winning out. And then we got USC versus Utah. USC 3-point favorites at Utah. To me, this game is really a coin flip. We don't know much about these games. Yes, USC's played some games, but we have to understand they're not the USC like Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart back in the day. They are not. This is a way different USC team. So to me, I'm going to go with the upset pick. I'm going to go Utah. Utah hasn't beat USC in a while. 58 is the over-under. I'll go with the over, but look, I like Utah with the upset overall. No doubt about it. I know I got some upset picks here, which could seem crazy, right? But I think ultimately, the biggest upset pick of the week is definitely Oklahoma State at Oklahoma. I think right then and there is just like, wow, what's going to happen to that? But I think another upset pick alert. Like I said, going back to what I said originally, dealing with Indiana football at Ohio State. If IU really comes out and plays with the hunger that they've been playing with this year, dude, this is going to be a great game. I think Ohio State has an uphill battle here. Who would have thought that we would be saying Ohio State has an uphill battle against Indiana football? They look at me like I'm crazy. They're like, Cap, what are you smoking on right now? For real, like IU, Michael Penix Jr. really pulls down to him. I hope IU gets the upset pick of the week. This would be the crazy upset right here to me. But at the end of the day, like I said, I'm going to go Ohio State. But please, for Indiana's sake, Indiana football, and everybody living in Indiana right now, I hope Indiana beats Ohio State. Not only beats them, but destroys them, baby. It's college football. It's the Clown with Cash Show. Let's go!